Well, sweet! We're doing backflips today. Check this out. Pressure. It's been in the pot for about 3 hours. It was up at 50. Now I think it's down to 25. But I can deal with that. So, little Harbor Freight pressure pot. We've come to terms. I guess I'll keep you. Okay, today we are going to revisit my pressure pot. As many of you have probably seen in my videos, I have been frustrated with it. It has not been a vessel that would hold air. I've talked to a number of people, I read up about it, I got a few comments, and I think the first thing, well anyway, I've got the lid on right now and it's holding at 40, which I would like to go a little higher. I thought this was actually rated at 80, but it's only 60, but that's okay. I do have a pressure valve on this. So I think at the end of this video I will talk about how I set this up, if I can actually get it to work. But the first part of this video will be tuning it, fine tuning it. Things I've learned that may or may not help it work. So anyway, I do have a mark, this circle, so I put the lid on the same time each time. And the comment I got was that I had the seal in wrong, which apparently I did. The seal has two kind of ribs on it, and I guess that goes on the bottom on this tank. The reason it was in wrong is it randomly fell out one day when I was in a panic with Alumilite trying to do this. I went like this with my lid, just like that, it fell out. I grabbed it and went, let's see, which way does it probably go? And I threw it in wrong. So that was what happened there. You can see there's a flat spot. Apparently the flat spot goes down. Another problem I had is I got some spillage of Alumilite in my panic. So I'm going to make sure I clean this lid off really good to avoid any other issues. And then I heard I should get some really good silicone grease. Well, I have some, it's good grease. It's not really axle bearing grease, but there's some fairly good grease out of a tube. So I'm going to grease this up to help it seal. Sand this up really good, and then I'm going to put the pressure back on it and try and go up about 50. I'd be happy with if I could get it. So this is a little bit rough. I'm going to clean right up. At the end of the video I'm going to go through how I actually set this up and what I bought and how I changed it around. It's not a big mystery. As you can see, it comes with a gauge. I bought an elbow and a shut-off valve here. This is the pressure thing it comes with. And then it does come with a blow-off valve, but I shredded that and ruined it when I was putting this together. So I went and bought this. I think I got it off Amazon actually. And it's 60. It's set at 60. It's adjustable. And then I had to have a 1/2 inch to 3/8 inch or 1/4 inch adapter right there. And I had to have a plug to go in this side, and then the gauge goes in the top. So those are all the tricks to setting it up. And when I put the lid on, I have this circle mark that marks up there. And one thing I did notice is this thing has it's got a bend in it, and I think that's been contributing to part of my problems. So I might see if I can take the bend out of that. So I'm going to sand this up a little bit, clean it up, grease this seal with some axle bearing grease. I wish I had some better silicone grease here, I couldn't find it. So that's what we're doing today. I think I got that sanded pretty well. I'm checking this out. There was a little bit of leakage right here. I've tried to clean it. May need to get a new seal. I don't know if sanding this is a good idea or not. Yeah, that worked. Got the Alumilite off it. Okay, now I want to just put a tiny, I don't want this to be greasy and messy, but that's kind of the, comes with the territory with grease, right? Conversely, I think it'll be a good idea to sand in here a little bit. There's a few rough spots. So I'll get a little piece of sandpaper and do that. Well, let's try that. I may have to come revisit that. Oh, that's right there. Tighten up opposites. And I even read that once they get them tight, they go another half turn with a crescent wrench. But I was able to get it pretty tight right there. Well, that went up to 40. Well, there we go. We went right up to 50, and that's acceptable to me. I like 50. I don't want to go any higher than that. Even though I do have a blow-off valve, I've got a little bit of a leaky faucet over there. Alright, now I'm going to leave it while I do something else and see if it holds pressure. And if it does, we're going to continue casting, and I'll take back all the terrible nasty things I said about this, but it was frustrating using it with it leaking. Especially with the time crunch that you're under when you start mixing up Alumilite. This is being filmed in a very secret location. Well, okay, we're on the floor of my shop. Anywho, got my new Harbor of the Freight paint pot. 2.5 gallons with a 20% off coupon. Got this, and this is a 3/8 to 1/4 reducer, and then in here I'm going to put this pressure valve, except for the fact that this pressure valve just obliterated itself. It was extremely tight. Everything on this paint pot is extremely tight. Like it's really glued in, or the threads aren't very good, and so they're meshing and mashing. Anyway, I couldn't find a 1/2-inch wrench wouldn't fit this, a 14 wouldn't fit it, a 13 wouldn't fit it. So I put some vice grips on it, I was gently turning it, and away it went. One of my friends used to say I have superhuman strength, or I don't know my own strength or something, so maybe I crushed it. But anyway, we're on our way. We have nowhere near the right parts, not what we need. I got a new pressure gauge because this one is all European. It's kind of funky. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That doesn't make sense. I want to be able to glance right at it and say we're at 40 or 50. So I'll get a new pressure valve to go in here. I'm going to put this in here like that. I need a plug put on the one end, or a cap put on the one end. I'm using Teflon tape, but I think I'm kind of at a standstill for tonight. Well, I've got this ball valve set up, but I didn't get my 90 to go in here either, so I'll have to hit the big orange box store tomorrow and see what I can find. We are still working. We've done a few things. I have the air connection hooked up to the ball valve, which is going to go right here on a elbow. I got this configured and tightened in. I put 3 wraps of Teflon tape on this on all threads. I'll put my new air gauge here, threaded this in. I'll put my 3/8 to 1/4 adapter right here. I put this in before I put the handle on. That is an important safety step, and I have this just a tiny bit off center so I can get my handle in. I'm going to mark these so I know where everything goes together. I need a plug for here and an elbow here, and then we are getting close. We are almost in business.